Hello everyone. We are continuing a very important lesson, that is reproduction in animals. Students, before knowing about today's topic, you have to know what we done in last few classes. Students, in first class we got about definition for reproduction, modes of reproduction, sexual reproduction, male reproductive organ, female reproductive organ. In second class, we got about fertilization, process of fertilization, development of embryo, and also in third class we got about life cycle of some animals, particularly about life cycle of butterfly, and also we got about life cycle of frog. Students, today we have to know about another very important type of reproduction, that is asexual reproduction or asexual reproduction. Students, already we got about definition for reproduction, that is the process of fusion of male and female gametes. That is what we called as reproduction, particularly sexual reproduction like that. Sexual reproduction is nothing but, so that is the process of fusion of male and female gametes to form diploid zygote. That is what we called as sexual reproduction. Similarly, second very important type of reproduction is that is asexual or asexual reproduction. What is asexual reproduction? So name indicates asexual. There is no any sex organs involving in the reproduction. So in case of sexual reproduction, sex organs, both male and female, the involving in the reproduction, the type of reproduction, that is what we called as sexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction is nothing but there is no any fusion of male and female gamete. There is no any fusion of or that requirement of that male and females like that. So without male and females, how actually reproduction takes place? Some of the asexual reproduction methods are there. So for example, budding is there, binary fission is there, multiple fission is there, spore formation is there, regeneration is there, and also some other methods of asexual reproductions are there. But in your syllabus, only two methods of asexual reproductions are there. So first one, that is about budding. So second one, that is binary fission. So what is budding? What is binary fission? I will explain with example. So students, I already told you asexual reproduction is a type of reproduction, and also in some organisms takes place by different methods or not involving in the male and females, or not involving in the sex organs. The type of reproduction, that is what we called as asexual reproduction. So usually the asexual, already I told you different methods of asexual reproduction takes place in different animals like that. For example, in case of hydra, which method of asexual reproduction takes place? That is budding. Through budding, that hydra involving in the reproduction like that. Similarly, in case of amoeba, that binary fission. So fission, there are two types of fissions are there. Binary fission is there, multiple fission is there. So in case of amoeba, binary fission takes place actually. So I will explain how actually budding takes place in hydra. What is budding? Similarly, that binary fission takes place in amoeba. I will tell you later. Students, first very important method of asexual reproduction, that is budding. Example, that is hydra. So how actually that budding takes place in hydra and also in yeast like that. You see that diagram of that hydra. So this is the structure of that hydra. So that this is parental hydra, and also the formation of extra growth takes place in the particular on the body of that parental body, on the body of that parent. So that is what we called as bud. See, this is the structure of the hydra. So this is parental hydra, and also the growth or extra growth will develop on the body of that hydra, parental body of the hydra. So that is what we called as bud. Next, day by day the maturation of that bud takes place, that increase the length like that, or size and also length of the particular bud takes place, and also on the body of that parental hydra like that. Later, after maturation of the particular bud, so later, so the particular bud will separated from the particular parental body of that hydra. So later, so that grow as a new organisms like that. So I will explain. So budding is nothing but there is a process of formation of bud on the parental body of that organisms. Later, so that bud will separated from the parental body and grow as a new organism. That is what we called as budding. So budding takes place in hydra. That is very simple. So this is the structure of that hydra. This is parental body. This one is bud formation. Extra growth will develop on the body of that parental body of that hydra. Next step, that is growing of that bud takes place on the body of that hydra, parental body of the hydra. Later, so that increase their size and also that length of that bud. Later, after maturation of this particular bud present on the body of that parent of that hydra, later, so that bud will separated from the body of that hydra, later grow as a new hydra or new organisms like that. So this is the process of budding takes place in hydra like that. In similar way, in yeast also takes place by that asexual method. So that is budding like that. Students, budding is nothing but in this method a small bulge develops, that is bud, from the body, that is what we called as bud. The bud then grows and develops into a new individual, that is daughter hydra will develop like that. So that is budding. Next, coming to another very important method of asexual reproduction, so that is binary fission. So in fission, two types are there. Binary fission is there, multiple fission is there. Binary fission is nothing but that is the process of that division of the particular parental body of that organisms into two equal parts. That is what we called as binary fission. Binary, that is two. So multiple fission also there. Multiple fission is nothing, name indicates multiple. That body of that organisms cut into two or more parts, and also each and every parts grow as a new organisms like that. That is what we called as multiple fission. In your syllabus, only binary fission is there. So that binary fission, example amoeba and also that paramecium, some other organisms also there. So next you have to know how actually that binary fission takes place in amoeba. You see the picture here. So first is that structure of that amoeba. Already we got the structure of amoeba in 7th standard like that. So usually that amoeba that contains outer layer, that is what we call as pseudopodia, and also inside that pseudopodia there is a fluid is there, that is what we call as cytoplasm is there, and also nucleus also there, some vacuoles also there. So that structure of that amoeba, this is later. So in this method what happened, the nucleus, so this is the structure of that amoeba that contains nucleus. So in first step what happened, in second step what happened, that nucleus first divides actually. Nucleus first divides. Inside that you observe that picture, this is amoeba inside that nucleus involving in the dividing actually, and forms two nuclei. See, this is one nuclei, this is another nuclei. Then after division of the particular nucleus inside that amoeba, later that cytoplasm also involving in the division like that. Cytoplasm also divides into two parts. See, cytoplasm dividing here. Later, so that cytoplasm also involving in the division. Later, so that amoeba cut into two equal parts, or that cytoplasm is will separated from each other. Finally, so that each and every parts grow as a new amoeba like them. That is what we called as binary fission. In binary fission, what happened in this method, the nucleus first divides and forms two nuclei. Later, that cytoplasm also divides into two parts and forms two daughter cells or two daughter amoeba like that. So this is what we called as binary fission. So in this way, that binary fission takes place in that amoeba. In same way, binary fission also takes place in that paramecium also. This is about sexual reproduction. In that, two methods of asexual reproductions are there, that is budding and binary fission, with example budding in hydra, and also we got about binary fission in amoeba like that. Students, I will show you one video about how actually budding takes place in hydra and also how actually binary fission takes place in amoeba. I hope all of you enjoy that video.
Hydra. Hydra is one of the simplest sedentary multicellular freshwater organism about 1 centimeter long. It has a tubular body with a basal disc for attachment and a free distal or oral end-bearing mouth and circlet of tentacles. Hydra reproduces asexually by budding. At the time of asexual reproduction, small buds appear on the body wall. As the bud elongates, a mouth opens at its free anterior end, followed by the development of tentacles at the base of the oral region. The newly developed hydra detaches from the parent body and fixes on a substratum.
In some lower animals, reproduction occurs mainly by asexual means. It is a type of reproduction in which there is no formation and fusion of gametes. In this type of reproduction, a single parent can produce its identical and exact copies. Binary fission in amoeba. It is division of parental body into two nearly equal daughter cells during favorable conditions. In this method, the karyokinesis is followed by cytokinesis. Daughters feed, grow, and repeat the process. Transverse binary fission in paramecium. In this type of fission, the body of paramecium divides transversely. Cytokinesis takes place along transverse axis. Longitudinal binary fission in euglena. In longitudinal binary fission, the body of euglena divides longitudinally. Cytokinesis takes place along longitudinal axis.
Okay, students, I hope all of you enjoyed that video about budding in hydra and also that binary fusion in amoeba. Students, today we got about asexual reproduction, particularly about two methods. First method, that is budding in that hydra, and also we got about how that binary fusion takes place in amoeba like that. Students, I will give you only one homework question for you. You have to explain reproduction takes place in amoeba. You have to explain reproduction, which type of reproduction, the asexual type of reproduction takes place in amoeba. You explain that how binary fusion takes place in amoeba like that. Continue the next class. Thank you so much.